leadership of the new Patriotic Party is pleased to have you in attendance for this press conference. Recent events, particularly the outcome of the 2024 general elections and the unfolding lawlessness by some leading members of the opposition National Democratic Congress and their supporters across the country, has necessitated this engagement. As we are already aware, Ghana went to the polls on Saturday, December 7th, 2024, to elect a president in addition to 276 members of parliament. Just 16 hours after the close of polls, our flag bearer, Dr. Alhaji Muhammadu Bawumia, conceded defeat, an occurrence never recorded in the 32 years of our democracy. Ordinarily, the concession speech by Dr. Alhaji Muhammadu Bawumia and the NPP should have deflated all tensions pertaining to the elections. After all, what was there to fight for again? However, the NDC, inspired by sheer lawlessness, has been sending tax to district and regional collation centers of the EC to force officials of the commission into declaring results in their favor, even when all due process had not been completed. In the Greater Accra region, on Monday, December 9, 2024, leading members of the NDC captured and locked up the regional office of the EC, where collation for several parliamentary elections was ongoing. They chased out state security personnel and brought in tax and subsequently took over the collation process for Okaikwei Central and Ablekumas North constituencies. Further, as is already known to the public, some of our parliamentary candidates and officials of the EC were either held at gunpoint or physically assaulted at various collation centers by hoodlums of the NDC to force them to declare results in their favor in the following constituencies: Ablekuma North, Domeko Abenya, Okaikwei Central, Tema Central, Ahafano North, Obuasi East, Ahafano Southwest, Akotia, Suhum, Fantiakwa North, Nsawa Aduadiri, Techiman South, and Awowin. For you to appreciate what transpired in these constituencies, I'll pause and invite our majority leader, Honorable Afenyo Makin, to give us a vivid report of what happened in some of these constituencies.
First of all, it is very regrettable that the NDC, after winning power, will resort to create an atmosphere of lawlessness, threaten parliamentary candidates, threaten party officials, and threaten anybody they see as a threat, so-called. In Ablekuma North, for instance, the parliamentary candidate there is under siege. Yesterday, she had a sleepless night. All manner of persons were at her residence in search of pink sheets. The question is, why is the NDC so interested in destroying evidence? Why are they interested in capturing pink sheets to destroy them and set them ablaze? This woman, Madam Ekuya Afriye, had to run for her life. It took the timely intervention of the police to protect her and to drive these NDC hooligans away. Okaikwei Central, my respected colleague, Honorable Patrick Buama, is unable to sleep in his house because they are threatening him, thinking that he has a pink sheet at his residence. His constituency chairman is being looked for. His constituency secretary cannot sleep at home, all because they believe that these individuals have pink sheets. Why should a member of parliament fear for his life? All because he's participating in democracy. I would want to call on His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to stop his people, to speak to his party people. This is not democracy. This is not the democracy we've all worked hard for. The hypocrisy is becoming too clear day in, day out. All of us are being threatened. In my own constituency, for instance, they have now come out with a lie, and unfortunately some media personnel are following such lie to the extent that, to the effect that a certain NDC constituency vice chairman cannot be found. It's a lie. They are using that to incite their party foot soldiers to attack NPP members, including my very self. When NDC was in opposition, of course, before the election, they were the ones who were all over fighting for the rights of Ghanaians. Even when a due process in court was being served on them, they cried foul. Today, the NDC leadership pretends that what their party foot soldiers are doing are being done on their blind side. But they are indeed encouraging it. We are calling on civil society to call on the NDC leadership, especially His Excellency President-elect John Dramani Mahama, to demonstrate his love for this country by stopping this action immediately. These individuals are moved in groups. Such attacks are planned and led by some MPs who are being promised juicy positions in government. And they are all over attacking parliamentary candidates. They are looking for pink sheets because they know that that is the evidence that we will use against them. If you go to Tema Central, for instance, the person who purportedly declared the Tema Central seat for the NDC candidate is not the returning officer for Tema Central. They called somebody to declare the result. When the rightful person who has taken an oath, who has deposed to an oath, sworn an oath to be the returning officer for the election, was not the one. If you consider this action in the light of all that is happening, one is compelled to ask that if NDC had lost the elections, what would happen? Is it the case that the leadership of the party had prepared, rehearsed, and plotted this, that in the event that they lose, this country should be made lawless? And because of that, even in spite of their winning, they are still proceeding to do this? At Obuasi East, our candidate was asked to choose between his seat and his life. He was locked up in his room at gunpoint and was forced to sign the final declaration, so-called declaration form. Why should such a thing happen? Is His Excellency John Dramani Mahama pretending not to be aware of all of these? All these things are happening before the media. The cameras are capturing all of these. And is this a country he wants to rule from 2025 to 2028? It is important that they don't just issue statements, but they demonstrate that they do not indeed support this action by stopping their boys. They buy them fuel, they give them pickups, and they move them to locations. We are aware. They cannot pretend that they don't know about this. Akwatia is a similar spot where they know they've lost, they scatter the place, and that is what they've done. My colleague, the majority chief whip, Honorable Ano Dompre, is also under siege, where they know they have lost but prevented the collation from happening. Why should it be? Like my respected colleague and General Secretary of the party indicated in his opening statement, Dr. Mahamadou Mahomia conceded defeat in less than 24 hours after election, indeed, within 16 hours after the elections, when our own data showed that the elections were not going in our favor, we did not wait for the Electoral Commission to come out with a declaration. The practice has been that a losing candidate would normally wait for the Electoral Commission to finish, make the announcement, and then he would concede. On this occasion, because we had a perfect system, a reliable data system, and we had scanners across the country, our agents gave us feedback, and in the very night, by midnight, we knew that indeed things were not okay. By 9 a.m., we have put it out there that Dr. Bawumia was going to address the nation. We did this in the interest of democracy. Why would the NDC, in an attempt to get 2/3 or more, going all over to destroy the country, destroy public properties, and even put fear and panic in the minds and hearts of our people who were candidates for the election? We call on the Electoral Commission to take immediate steps to reverse all these illegal declarations. Declarations that were not made out of properly collated results. Intervene. National headquarters should intervene. The chairperson of the Electoral Commission should intervene and respond positively to all the petitions brought before them and address these matters. We rest our case for now.
So just as the majority leader said, we are equally calling on the National Peace Council, National House of Chiefs, Christian Council of Ghana, Catholic Bishops Conference, our National Chief Imam, organized labor, civil society organizations, the diplomatic community, to, as a matter of agency and for the sake of our cherished and enviable record as a country that has for over 32 years practiced multi-party democracy, to come out and condemn the lawlessness from the NDC. And we call on the president-elect, Mr. John Dramani Mahama, to call his people to order and also allow the Electoral Commission to do its job. At the end of the day, that is the beauty of democracy. You can't have it all. Is it the case that the NDC is telling us that we are not needed in the next parliament? What kind of country do we want to have? And we are also calling on you, the media. You have been to these centers. You've seen, with your naked eyes, you've seen the truth. Why are you not reporting? You are the forefront of government. You are supposed to let the people know what is happening. You are supposed to condemn the NDC. That this is not the kind of country we want to have. This is not the kind of state we want to have as a country. Are we having a revolution in this country? Why should we happen in this manner? So, as the majority leader indicated, we are waiting to hear from the Electoral Commissioner with its decision on these constituencies. I'll repeat it again. Dome Kwabenya, Ablekuma North, Okaikwe Central, Afano North, Afano Southeast, Obuasi East, Akwetia, Suhum, Fantiakwa North, Nsawa-Dwiji, Chiman South, and Aworin. And we are calling on the police that, Mr. IGP, the safety of this country is in your hands. Everybody is watching you. Everybody is counting on you. Let your men provide maximum security at all collation centers so that the officers of the Electoral Commission can do their constitutional duty of making sure we have credible parliamentary candidate-elect or members of parliament in our next parliament. So we want to thank you for coming to our office this afternoon.
For more news, please visit our website graphic.com.gh or follow us on Facebook at Daily Graphic and on YouTube and Twitter at GraphicGH.
Subscribe now.